Oh, you all. Hello. It is Tees. Good day. Good afternoon. Good evening. I hope all are well. I hope all are safe. And excuse the background noise in advance. I am on open mic and it's been quiet. So, you know, excuse any noise that decides to jump in. So, the $1 million question that's on my mind and probably was just answered maybe a few hours ago. But are we in hell? Are we in prison? Or both? And the reason why I ask is because now I personally, I am convinced, and I don't want to just speak for myself and say, oh, maybe you're just in hell. But as far as the big picture, because I don't just look at one picture, I look at the whole thing, from the picture to the photographers to the background, all of that. I look at the whole thing. So I say the whole picture, as far as what the majority are doing and it's going through. That is, to me, that it would be hell, as far as living a fake lie, living a lie, and experiencing the lie to the point where everything has been fake and staged. Or you tell me A when it's B, or you'll tell me that I'm him when I'm her. It's like everything has been a lie, basically. A lie from you to the food, and that's just to keep it short and sweet. So now that we know we're living a lie, and then it's like then you have to get to the question, well, who learned me these lies? Now, one side can say, oh, okay, well, your parents didn't know any better, wink, wink, because perhaps they were lied to, wink, wink. Or you can just flat out say, the lie came from the overseers or the handlers or the gatekeepers or whoever sold you out, basically. Whoever knows, because like I said, we can just say most people were lied to and they didn't know. But maybe I know. And I have to make sure you don't know, or I have to make sure you stay in a sick delusion. So it's the lie part. That's what I'm saying. That's the part where it gives you hell, because that means you've been trotting around all of this time and all of these years and you don't know who, what, where, when, and why. And that's scary. I mean, the truth will set you free. Like, oh, it is east instead of west. It's good to know, but it's scary to learn that you've been walking on hot rocks this whole time, or you've been standing on a landmine and you didn't know that two more footsteps or two more dance moves, and it's, so we just never know how crazy or how deep the rabbit hole goes, and then you just never know. And here's even more crazy, and you never know how long you have in this lie. So it's one of those things like we don't really know what we're dealing with, and then it's like then you have to get to the bottom of it. Until you walk in those shoes, can you even be destroyed, or can you be taken out? Is there even a such thing as being taken out, or do they just tell you that? Same way they just tell you religion, or they just tell you education or schooling. They just tell you what to do as far as shut up, work, pay bills, and have dinner ready by 5, or just shut up and work, or just shut up and go to church, or whatever it is. It's a certain system where you're supposed to do A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and you don't ask any questions. So we're under some type of sick delusion, under a spell, and it's like, that in itself is sorcery. So can we blame that on the hell part of it? And then we'll jump to the prison part of it. Okay, once I realize I'm in hell, help. How do I get out of here? And I would go as far as saying, it's not saying that there's not a way out of it, but it's like you have to scratch your way out of it. Like, for instance, I have the key. Mind you, I know the lie that I'm keeping you under. So that means there is a way out, but how will you know that? That's the $1 billion question. And that's where the prison part comes in. Because a lot of this stuff, you'll look around like, this doesn't look like prison. Like, I can work, pay bills, go to school. I can shut the hell up. Like, I can rub sticks and stones together. Like, I can do what I want. There's no rules, quote unquote. So to the naked eye or to the naked mind, you'll think like, oh, well, I'm not in prison. I can move about as I please. But not really. Because if you really get to moving about as you please, that'll come with consequences, or that'll come with getting flatline, or that'll come with, everything that we do that we think we have the right and the audacity to do, it actually comes with consequences. Even simply saying, well, I'm grown, I can have sex with whoever I want. But okay, well, you better be ready for the rash, to say the least. So you can't complain about that. And even if it spreads to your eyes, nose, and ears, it's one of those things where You can do what you want, but you can take this with you on your way out. So just to say the least. So we trot around like we can do what we want as if there's no consequences. Well, there's consequences to everything we do. You get good. Is there such thing as good consequences? Consequences probably aren't necessarily bad, are they? I guess the true definition, I guess you get what you ask for, I guess. But yeah, again, the prison part is once you realize you're in a trap, how do you get out? And then do we define freedom or quote unquote success with, okay, well, I'm in a certain tax bracket, like, okay, maybe I'm a billionaire. Does that mean I'm free? Or does that mean I'm still in prison? Honestly, I would say you are still in prison, because sometimes it seems like the higher up you get, okay, yeah, you probably don't have to struggle, but seems like there's more rules when you get higher up. So that's still some type of overseer there. Like that's the prison. So you're in hell and prison. That's why I say both. Hell and prison. Because I can have millions and billions, but what about the fiery darts? What about the more rules? And then you think, oh, I can really do what I want. I'm a billionaire. I'm up there with Diddy. I'm Diddy. And then here they make an example out of you. And that's whether it's true or false. So it's like, are you really untouchable? Or can you really trot around and do what you want to do? And let you tell it you're not doing any wrong? So that's all I'm saying. So I am convinced that this is hell just based off of the lie. We're living a lie. Like, who, what, where, when, and why? When you pick up your food, who, what, where, when, and why? Whoever you're in bed with, who, what, where, when, and why? When you send your children off to Moloch, who, what, why? Why? Are you under a sick delusion? But here's the thing, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Here's the benefit of the doubt for us all, and this is to justify us all for being in hell. Look at your leaders. Look at your overseers. Look at your handlers and your gatekeepers. They're all demons. Like, I don't know if they're demons in meat suits, or they're just demons trying to hide behind politics, or trying to hide behind the music industry, or trying to hide behind social media, whatever it is. But literally, all of the leaders, they're all into sorcery, to the point where they're probably just good old-fashioned, just not human. And maybe we mistake them as demons, quote unquote. But there's a catch to the leaders, the overseers, the handlers, and the gatekeepers. There's a catch to all of them. Because like, they know something that you don't. Their job is to keep you in a sick delusion, or to trick you. That's sorcery. If I'm tricking you, telling you it's east when it's west, that is sorcery. So I would say the scales is leaning more, if I have a scale saying, okay, equal playing field, y'all go ahead and spew your good and evil. I would say that evil is through the roof. Like, literally. Blowing through the seams of the roof, because, again, let's just say we don't know anything. We're all innocent. All we do is right. But again, look at your leaders. Look at your overseers. Look at the gatekeepers. Look at the handlers, the ones that keep you in the line. What are they into? And do they have your best interest at heart? And I would say hell no. If we just simply just say, okay, we're all innocent, quote unquote, wink, wink. Those who are over you, or those who are the quote unquote leader, those you have to answer to, or to tell you what's right and wrong. What are they into? And we can tell just from the distracted eye, like literally from the background, like all you want to do is tell me social media, be distracted and be a fool and be ready for the slaughter. Even from that position, to be in the nosebleed of what's going on, we can see from here that, okay, sorcery is what they're doing. Hidden behind distraction, entertainment, and foolishness and sorcery, pretty much. Like, for instance, with the Super Bowl Sunday, and I don't want to speak too soon, saying I don't hear any fuss about it. Maybe it's still early, but right now it's calm. So I don't know if it's calm because everyone's off to the Super Bowl, or if this is just the calm before craziness, because I guess it's just still early. Yeah. So, yeah. But I thought I'd mention that, just give a small perspective of, is this hell? And I would say just another aspect of hell is because you just don't know. Just simply not knowing. And again, there's one thing to learn. Like, okay, I don't know, but I can learn. But there's one thing to, like, I don't know because I've been living a lie. And I'm not saying you can't figure out what that lie is, but If this has been going on for centuries and generations, that means there's many and millions and billions and plethoras of people that have been led astray just simply by their overseers, like literally. And again, we could say, well, my parents didn't know any better. They knew, somebody knows something, okay? Somebody knows something, especially if it's just one person. Like I said, let's just say you're the only person that knows what's going on, but somebody is around you to keep you in line. Somebody knows something. Now, we all can be, okay, I'm just delusional. Okay, well, I'm believing what BET or the news told me. Okay, whatever. But who is behind BET? Who is putting the tape, in the, who's been charging those batteries? Oh, yeah, so somebody knows something, or something knows something. That's all I'm saying. So that's the hell part of it. What is that? What? And I don't even want to call it a demon. That might be disrespectful. That might be too high up for whatever these entities are. But it's like, what is that entity behind? Is it an evil entity, or is it just is it really just a test or an experiment? Oh, well, how would you react in a lights out situation? How would you react if I turned the internet off? How would you react if you're addicted to the internet, or addicted to social media, or addicted to these football tickets? Will you be killing people over these football games? Yes. That's why they do it. Blood sacrifice. Could there be a sacrifice tonight on this Sunday afternoon in the name of the Super Bowl? Because I want to say a lot of people might come up short tonight, especially if their team don't win. I watched literally about 1 minute. I don't even think it was that long. I had to turn it off. But they're literally men like flipping out, beating the shit out of their TV, either because their team lost or something happened where they crying and screaming and scratching at the TV. And if y'all think that's normal, it's not. Like, you could say, oh, that's just a fanatic. No, that's mental illness, to say the least. And I don't even want to get on that demon, or I don't want to be disrespectful and call it a demon, to whatever got you acting like yelling at the TV screen. Hello? And to where you're tearing up the TV screen, and whoever's around you, I'm sure they're in danger. But again, is that just dangerous, or is that demonic? So I'm saying, I don't even know if maybe I'm not even using the right words, but you just don't know what you're dealing with these type of energies, What is it about these sports that has me in a rah, rah. I'm yelling and scratching and barking at the TV screen? Now we got to if we survive, now we got to get a new TV screen. And that's if we live. Because Lord knows it ain't just a TV screen that's going to get iced. So. And this is real life. This happens. Like I said, these were older videos. So like I said, we got more of that to come tonight. Like I said, if my team to win, throw the ball, and beat the TV. And let's just say the team does win. For celebration, I'm going to riot. That's probably why they have ice out now. That's probably why it's so quiet, like ice and the police and everything. They're at the Super Bowl, wherever the Super Bowl is, and so like I said, everybody's there to prepare for the craziness, because they know somebody's bound to act a fool, or either you either gonna be salty or happy, and that still come with kicking. I'm mad, or I won, celebration, whatever they're yelling and howling at the moon, and it's like, you see what I'm saying? It's a certain energy. And I don't want to, again, I don't want to be disrespectful. No, those are demons. Help me, clutching my pearls. Because what do I know? But, yeah. I don't want to flat out say, well, it's because we're in hell. I don't want to speak so matter of fact, like I know what I'm talking about. But if we were to count the symptoms and look around at the quote unquote, what is it, the idol, the quote unquote idol, like what are we looking up to, or what are we listening to? More than likely it's sorcery, and it's like, it probably came from the pits of hell. You got smoke coming out of your ears. It's one of those things, sometimes you just got to put two and two together, and then sometimes you got to believe your lying eyes. Sometimes hell don't always consist of flames. Like I say earlier, just a few hours ago, I watched the video. It was a gentleman. He was pretty much saying, maybe we are in hell and we're just on preheat right now. And I'm thinking, like, I go to collect my pearl. I'm like, you know what? He probably onto something, because I was convinced we were in hell, but maybe the heat ain't got turned up yet. Because let me see, if I'm going to do the math again, now don't quote me, because what do I know? What do I know? It ain't like I didn't read the good book, nor did I write it. But isn't it written, are you going to be tore up with fire this time? Hold me back if I'm lying, okay? And throw a blanket on me now, because I'm going to fall back. But yeah, if you think about it, if we're on preheat and we're just waiting on the lava and the lasers to come, you're saying, maybe hell hasn't came. Maybe we are preheat. Like, we call this hell because we're just getting, I'm just starting to panic. But am I in full panic mode? I'm saying that's something to think about. Maybe we're on preheat. That man was on to something. I didn't catch his name, but he was like, "Hey, you on to something?" Well, yeah, I would call it preheat too. I would say amen to his testimony, and I'm like, he on to something. He was on to something. Because if you think about it, it really ain't as bad as it could. Because I would just say just simply because you have internet. If you have internet and the gumption to be distracted, well, you're fine. You're not exactly in hell. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like nothing is quote unquote shut down just yet. Like as far as shut down for good, not just to tickle your fancy, or not just to whip you back into shape. I mean, like quote unquote grid down, which is another thing. Before I shut up, if you got what they call themselves having an old busted grid to where it's like, it needs work. It's so vulnerable and it's so ready for destruction to the point where anybody can come and drive into it or trip over the cords. But yet they have no backup maintenance. Oh, that's because the parts have to come from overseas, or because we got to call Peter and to rob Paul. And again, if it takes all that, where is the standby of it? If it's going to be held to keep the lights on, and you see it, the ankles are shaking on it, like, hello? But if I'm thinking like certain stuff like that, wouldn't that be kind of hellish? If you know, like, you're one sneeze away from doom. And then and if you think about it again, if I say one more thing before I shut up, then they're talking about the doomsday clock, whatever that is. Like, say, what do I know? I'm just the fly on the wall. But the doomsday clock done jumped 30 seconds. Oh, now we're almost at midnight, or damn near at midnight. And I'm thinking, hello? I don't know what that means. I don't speak demon, or I don't speak destruction. But talking doomsday, and and again, if you look around, you can't really trust anything. And again, with the children, the youth have been compromised. Like they're being programmed for the worst. And it's like you're just, as the parents and guardians, you guys are just sitting back and watching, or you're sitting back feeding them the Moloch. So it's one of those things where it's like, if you look around at what people are doing and what's their position in this mess called a disaster, I'm thinking tragedy is bound to happen. And with tragedy and chaos, those are all I would say hellish symptoms. So again, I'm doing the math, and honestly, if you ask me, the only thing that is missing is the flames. Really, because the demons are running about. You don't even know what. First of all, who, what, where, when, and that is that. As far as the neighbors, as far as who that is, you grab somebody by that collar. As far as outside, who, what, where, when, and why are you? And you won't even be able to identify that. You don't know east from west. You just don't know what you're dealing with, which is sorcery. I'm tricking you. Yeah, so we are around a lot of trickery and foolishness. Like I say, that's sorcery, to say the least. Sorcery is like a dark source. And it's a very popular and ancient method too. So that means if I have the ability to use sorcery and it works well, why not keep doing it? And then why not use it to my advantage, where I leave you in a sick delusion while I'm somewhere at the disco, living it up, while you're just suffering in this hell that I created for you. And mind you, all you probably got to do is just stand up and walk out the door, but you don't know that. You don't know that you're in front of a screen that when you're watching a screen, that's when you're watching a movie, and it's giving you your reality. You don't realize this is just a movie. It's real to you because that's all you know. But it's the sorcery behind it. I'm not going to tell you you're in a movie, or I'm not going to tell you this is an experiment. I'm not going to tell you that I'm about to push you downstairs. I'm poisoning you. I'm just going to see what's the results when I do it. Pure sorcery. Yeah, I already done the math. And, so I would just say just make the best out of, while we're in prison serving our time, I'll say make the best out of it. And the less people, the better. Would you want anyone in your cell? Would you want anyone bunking up with you? Spooning you at night? I mean, some of y'all probably, hell yeah. Talk about the guys thinking, hell yeah. And then some of y'all, let me shut up. I didn't want to get into that. Some of y'all men and women would love to be spooning with the same, with the same material. I wouldn't want to go there, but yeah, would you? I mean, I would say you would have more of a fighting chance with less people around. If it's just you and the birds, or you in the wilderness to worry about, then I call that safe. With a bunch of people around that you don't know what their motives are, and it's time to panic, and I would say no. because that's what makes heaven and hell. Like I said, we're only in hell now because of the people. We're not in hell because the flames haven't got here. We're in hell because of the people. So keep that in mind. All right, anyway, be well and be safe.